Welcome back to another conversation on a man's mind. Today we're going to be talking about the connection between your throat, your voice, and your narrative. Have you ever gotten to the point where you felt stuck, where you felt like you actually had hands wrapped around your throat as if you can't speak? Obviously you can speak, but you feel like you're not connected to what you want to say. Why is that? Why do voices creep into our throats when we expand ourselves? Today we're going to jump into both restriction and when narratives take over our voice, as to say, when are we not speaking our truth? When are we not stepping into our power and our authentic selves? So the other day I was drinking water. My voice cracked. Here we are, expressing ourselves. The things happen with the voice. We're not cutting this out. So the other day I was drinking water. Every time I put my throat back, it expanded this space in my throat. And when that happened, I'd feel these old narratives coming in right when I did that. And I thought, why is it that when I expand my throat, when I drink water, when I eat, when I reach my arm up, it's opening up this area, also the throat chakra, but it's opening up this area where we align with ourselves, we align with our truth. Why does this happen? Why is it that when we open our throat, when we want to speak our truth, that we kind of trip or feel the grip? Why is that? Are we afraid of being rejected? Are you afraid of being unseen? Are you afraid of it not mattering? Being really honest, even in the midst of making this video, it is an act of stepping into my voice, my truth, and what I think and how I see the world. Maybe you're watching this and you haven't even gotten this far. You've said, nah, no thanks, doesn't resonate. Maybe you're still watching just so you can criticize it, right? And I'm not saying you, but maybe you, the world. This is what we consider when we put our ideas out into the world. Will it be accepted and loved? Amazing. Will it be liked? Cool. Will it be disliked or hated? And I forgot one, the one in the middle. Are they indifferent? I'd almost rather you hate my opinion than just not even be affected by it. So these are the things that I believe we are subconsciously considering anytime we want to tell a joke, make a comment, share feedback, or make a video, or whatever it is that we're putting out into the world. And I want to talk about how we can work through some ways to bust this out, to say it anyway, even when it feels like there's a hand on your throat, literally or metaphorically, whether you're hiding from the circles, whether you're not sticking up your hand in class. We're going to work through this. So why does this even matter? I think it matters because if we're not speaking our truth, a couple things happen. One, we hurt ourselves. Our true selves get built up, and if they don't get expressed, I believe they rot. They can rot, and we can rot inside, and that can show up as disease and behaviors and all sorts of crap. And then second, if we're not speaking our truth, if we're not telling the jokes, if we're not sharing the opinions and the perspectives, then the world isn't what it could be. Because as we share our opinions, they are like ripples in the pond that can create goodness and leadership and laughter. So let's talk about a couple ways we can unlock this. Sure, you could say, just do it anyway. Just get through it, just say the thing. But sometimes we say the thing that we want to be accepted. Sometimes we say the thing that we should say. And then we feel like we've lied to ourselves. Then we feel like we're betraying ourselves. And it only makes the pile and the weight feel heavier. So how do we get through this? Well, I believe we can do quite a few things that I am still practicing myself. It pulls from the area of psychology, philosophy, and performance. One, psychology. We can dig into the narratives and the reasons why we believe we might be holding ourselves back. What are we afraid of? What are we rejecting? What are our limiting beliefs? What are the narratives that are driving our expression or lack thereof? And then second, we can look at philosophy. What do we believe matters? What do we believe that what we say or don't say, do or don't do, and how does that have value in the society that we live in based on our philosophies, based on our beliefs in how we think our reality functions? And then third, performance. Take an improv class, stand in front of the mirror and have a conversation with yourself, journal. We could really dive into that, but performance is really about doing it in a safe space so that you can actually hear yourself saying the words or the words that you're not saying. So I'm a big fan of recording myself, watching the video, and then deleting the video. I think in today's world, a lot of us think if we record something, we have to post it. Recording equals posting. Doesn't have to be. And for a long time, I was really stuck in my head. So let's play with performance and psychology. And I thought, how can I get out of my head? How can I get myself out of this thing, right? We wish we could sort of unplug ourselves sometimes. So I thought, what if I record myself and then watch myself saying all the emotional, psychological things that I'm saying and feeling in that moment? But then if you think about it, it's sort of like a triangle. There's now three entities. There's the you that was there, there's the video that you're seeing, and then there's the you that's observing the video. Does that make sense? So as you replay this video, watching yourself, you know how you felt in that moment. You know what you were thinking in that moment. And now you get to be on the balcony and watch it separated, a little objectified, a little separated from being in that moment. And you can see what it looks like and sounds like when you knew what it felt like and looked like. And you can think, wow, I don't look as bad as I felt. Or you might say, I look like shit. You really do look like you're a mess. You might want to figure that out, right? It can go both ways. And then as you see yourself speaking what felt so hard to say, when you see yourself say it, maybe it doesn't look so bad. And you can think, wow, that felt really hard to do, but it didn't look so bad. Maybe when I'm out in public or doing something else, performing in the workplace or on stage, whatever, maybe even when it feels really heavy, it doesn't look as bad as I thought. And then you'll grow through that. And then you'll realize that the feeling is a story you're telling yourself to prevent you from speaking your truth. It's not actually a physiological hindrance. It's a psychological driving the physiological. It's a story you're telling yourself. And then the last kind of method I'll share with you today is set a timer. Go look in the mirror and talk to yourself for 3 minutes. Whether you want to play with a character voice, you want to be silly, you want to be someone else. Sometimes that can be the lube to tell part of yourself, hey, I'm being silly right now. This isn't really serious. And then you'll find you'll start saying things. You'll say the deeper things that have been bothering you for so long. Say it in the mirror. Say it to yourself. Frankly, it's going to feel weird. Frankly, you might say for a second, am I cracking up? You might feel that way. You might say that. And I promise you, you're probably not. What you're doing is you're getting the words out of your mouth and then you're seeing yourself say them. And if you allow yourself to say them and you're still alive and in your privacy of your own home, you'll realize that you're okay. You'll realize that they are just words, and you'll realize that those words have been your reality for a very long time. So maybe saying them to your face in the mirror is not enough. Grab a whiteboard, grab a piece of paper. As you write down these words, write them out and also say them out loud. Then sing them out loud. All this feels like crazy talk. All this feels like kind of crack up behavior. But what is more crazy? Holding on to these narratives that were never yours, having them dictate your life, having them tell you what to do and what not to do? Or is it a little more crazy to lock yourself in your home for an evening, dance around, and say these things out loud, write them down, and then let them go? Or at least let go of the idea that they no longer own you, and then go from there.